I shouted toward the door. Coming, coming. The moment I opened it, I chirped, Little, you're here. Wait, my smile froze. Standing there was a guy in a white t-shirt and olive green cropped pants, canvas sneakers on his feet, clean cut, unfairly handsome. Crap. Ex-boyfriend. Before we go on, please subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you're listening from. Olivia, my little's transferring to Harbor City for work and the rental market's brutal. You've got that 2-bedroom to yourself, right? Let him crash with you. Keep an eye on him for me. I was about to refuse when my phone chimed. Alipay transfer, $100,000. My eyes bulged. Only Sophie would be this generous. Can't blame me for being a mercenary. Harbor City is impossible, which is why I'm stuck paying $5,000 a month solo. That's a quarter of my salary. Rent's on me. Take care of my baby brother. Reading Sophie's text, my eyes lit up. Relax, your little is my little. Rowan. I had the day off, so I decided to air out the spare room. Sophie said her brother's from my university, 1 year below me. Since we're the same generation, I figured I'd make a good impression. I spent the entire day scrubbing until the spare room, and the whole apartment sparkled, then stretched until my shoulders cracked. Exhausting. Checking the time, I realized it was late. I was about to call Sophie to ask if they'd landed when the buzzer rang. Had to be Sophie's little. Coming, coming. I sang, yanking the door open. Little, you're. Wait. The smile melted off my face. Same white tee, same olive-cropped pants, same killer cheekbones. Crap. Ex-boyfriend. How do you know my address? I forced a laugh. If you're done, I'll shut the door. I started to swing it closed. He blocked it with one hand, wheeled in his suitcase, and lazily flashed his phone. My big told me to crash here. Me. No escape. I watched him roll the bag inside. I'm doomed. Sophie once ranted that some girl crushed her brother's heart, and I'd helped her curse that heartbreaker out. Turns out the villain was me. After all, I'm the one who asked him out, then dumped him. Sophomore year, dorm of 4, only me still single. Classes were light, so I figured why not taste romance. We met in club. He'd just transferred into my group, and we clicked. He was exactly my type, pretty face, sunshine grin, so I made the first move. The guy said yes on the spot. 1 month later I regretted it. Too clingy. Looks I loved, personality, toddler level. 2 years ago tonight, under the dorm lights, we had our first kiss. My heart pounded. I copied drama leads and parted my lips slightly. Next second he bit my tongue. Ow! Mason, you. He looked mortified. Sorry. Clarity hit. I just wanted the college romance sampler pack. Wrong subject, younger, equally inexperienced. A sin. I ended it on the spot. He protested. I shot him down with childish and zero kissing skills. The hurt on his face still stings. He WhatsApped later begging for a do-over. I deleted him, quit the club, vanished. Haven't dated since. The whole episode feels sleazy. Now he's here, 2 years older and even more unfairly handsome. Used to smile at everything. Now his eyes are arctic. I point toward the spare room. Your room's that way. Got it. He heads down the hall without a backward glance. Kill me. I thought the universe had buried that disaster. Of all the condos in Harbor City, I lean against the doorframe, watching him unpack with mechanical precision. Finally I venture. Have you had dinner? His hand stills. Not yet. Remembering Sophie's orders, I offer. I could whip something up. No need. I'll order takeout. I give him the 2-second tour bath balcony, then drop the spare key on his dresser and retreat. Back in my room, I text Sophie. Spill every detail on the evil ex. Why the sudden curiosity? Don't tell me you like my brother now. I type way too fast. Just wondering how anyone could dump a face like that. It's a long, tragic epic. By the time she finishes, my guilt is a 20-piece marching band. Because of me, Mason morphed from sunshine to storm cloud, Ellis. I spent the night wide-eyed with shame. Noon the next day, I shuffle into the kitchen sporting panda eyes and brew coffee. First sip, and he walks out carrying plates. Up. Food's ready. He freezes, ears scarlet, gaze jerking away. Weirded out, I ask, what? It's hot, so maybe wear more than that. I am still a guy. His tone sounds angry. I glance down, oh lord. I'm in the silk spaghetti strap mini Sophie gave me, hips, legs, and 36D on full display. Sorry, I forgot you moved in. I sprint to my room and throw on a hoodie. At the table I blink at the spread. You can cook. What, 1 month and you think you knew me? Ouch, resentment served hot. I shut up, I deserve worse. He nods at my chair. Let's eat. Everything on the table is my favorite. Coincidence, probably. 1 bite of sweet and sour pork and I'm starstruck again. Gorgeous and gifted at the stove? I inhale 3 bowlfuls of rice. How long were you starving? He asks, stunned. I dump plates in the sink. I'll wash, fair's fair. Glass shatters. A soapy tumbler slips and explodes. Shards nick my thigh. Ah! He charges in, scoops me up, plants me on the couch, and in 60 seconds has the first aid kit out. Luckily just a scratch. The bleeding stops fast. Quinn. Mason didn't answer me. He just kept cleaning the cut. After he pressed the Band-Aid in place, he stood up, collected the glittering shards from the kitchen floor, and washed the leftover bowls. I pushed myself off the couch to go to him, but the look he shot me made me stop mid-step, words stuck in my throat. Quinn, Casey, I said, voice soft with guilt. He only glanced over, still silent, snapped the first aid kit shut, and carried it back toward his room. I followed as far as the doorway. He turned. If you're hurt, sit still. Stop making things worse. The coldness stabbed. No point pretending it didn't. He was my first love, rushed beginning, even more rushed ending, but the feelings had been real. Years had passed, yet my heart still slammed against my ribs the moment I saw him. Mason back then. I needed to say I was sorry, that the girl I'd been had run when she should have stayed. I barely got the first syllable out before he cut me off, stepping closer until I could smell soap and salt air on his skin. Don't tell me you think I'm still hung up on it? A bitter laugh slipped out of me. Guess I overthought it. 2 years after all. We'd both grown up, even if the spark had once been there. With a face like his, there had to be a waiting list of girls who'd asked him out. I opened my mouth again, but his phone rang. We were close enough that the girl's gentle hello floated straight into my ear. Emery, you okay over there? Mason, I'm good. I'm so happy we'll be working in the same city now. He glanced at me. Yeah. The tenderness in his eyes while he talked felt like a needle sliding under a nail. He'd clearly moved on. Probably the woman on the line was halfway to girlfriend status. I should have felt relieved, but the heaviness in my chest refused to lift. I stared at the half-finished coffee and left it cooling on the table. I retreated to my room and lay down like a punished kid. No sleep the night before, plus an overstuffed stomach turned exhaustion into anesthesia. Within minutes I was out. When I opened my eyes again, the clock said 6 p.m. I studied my reflection. The dark circles had faded a little. After a shower, I slipped into the most modest pajamas I owned and padded to the living room. Mason sat on the couch, laptop balanced on one knee, typing around blueprints. Have you eaten? I asked. He looked up. No. Impulse hijacked my mouth. You cooked lunch. Dinner's on me. Let me take you out. Deal, he answered, quick and calm. I changed, added mascara mostly out of habit, and drove us to the nearest mall. What are you in the mood for? Whatever. We picked the first restaurant without a line, an upscale bistro glowing red and gold. The server greeted us with a candle-laden smile. Feel free to try our Valentine set menu, created for the season. And no, that's okay, I blurted. Valentine, right? August. Bistros always milk that festival for prefixes and pink tablecloths. Around us, almost every seat held the standard couple configuration. Elbows touching, sharing selfies and calamari. I pushed the leather-bound menu toward him. Pick anything, my treat, seriously. He tapped the Valentine menu. This looks decent. Heat crawled up my neck. Was he joking? Who orders a lovebird platter with an X? Mason shrugged. It's just food. Don't go reading into it. 37 degrees Celsius mouth, sub-zero words, classic Mason. If he didn't care, neither would I. Fine, Valentine special it is. Dishes arrived in choreographed succession. Each plate came with a speech about eternal harmony and heart-flame passion, straight from the server's cheat sheet. And every time, I died a small death. We are not a couple. How to explain that without sounding ridiculous? Jordan saw the untouched wine. Not drinking. I'm driving. Call a designated driver app if you feel like it later, he said. Sure, maybe. I sipped anyway, liquid courage. The glass was innocent. The bottle was criminal. By dessert, the walls were swaying. I propped my chin on my hand while the server cooed. May sweetness follow you always, lovebirds. Mason inclined his head. Quinn. I blinked. Must be the alcohol. When the last spoonful of panna cotta was gone, he rose. Let's head back. I'll pay. I stood too fast and the floor pitched. Already settled, he said. Oh, okay. Then it hit me. Wait, this was supposed to be my treat. You're tipsy. Typing the wrong tip would only Casey yourself. I'm not drunk, I muttered. He stayed one pace ahead all the way to the car, never touching me once. Keys. I dropped them into his palm like contraband. Inside the cabin, he leaned across to click my seatbelt. Cedar and sea air flooded my senses, and my pulse went haywire. He parked in the garage and accepted the key from the designated driver app driver, then opened my door. "We're here, out you get." I rubbed my temples, stepped out, knees folding like damp cardboard. I swear it wasn't on purpose when I pitched straight into his chest. His arm circled my waist. "Olivia, you." "I'm sorry, really." He slammed the door with his free hand and scooped me up. "I can walk. Faster this way." An elderly couple boarded the elevator with us, beaming like matchmaking grandparents. I buried my flaming face against Mason's shoulder. Inside, he set me on the bed. "Sleep it off." Halfway to the door, I caught his wrist. Momentum snapped him forward and we crashed together. "Taylor." Mouth on mouth, heartbeat on heartbeat. Through the alcohol haze I stared. "Mason." His voice was gravel. "Olivia, you're baiting me." "I didn't mean." He cut me off with a kiss that had clearly been upgraded. His tongue traced my lips like a lazy signature, pulling back each time I chased him, until a frustrated sound escaped me, and he finally gave me the full taste I was begging for. I woke to an empty apartment, probably at the firm already. I got ready and took myself to the agency. At my cubicle, playback of that kiss flickered behind my eyelids. My cheeks kept lighting up. Whoever had tutored him after me had done thorough work. But why kiss me at all? I shook the thought off like rainwater. Coworker Stella zeroed in immediately. "Olivia, you look like someone's keeping your sunshine hostage." "That obvious?" She nodded. "Tell me," she urged. I ran into my ex-boyfriend. I exhaled. "He's now my roommate." Stella squealed. "Destiny. Maybe you two get a sequel." When I stayed mute, she pushed. "A coincidence that big? Probably engineered." I shook my head. "Unlikely, and it's been 2 years. He could have a girlfriend." "Did you ask?" "Not exactly. Just a hunch." She rolled her eyes. "Dummy. What woman tolerates her guy living with another female?" Her point hit the bullseye. "Sophie fronted me $100,000. With that budget, he could rent any place in town." Stella grinned. "If he really came for you, what then? Still have feelings?" "I don't know." Her grin widened. "That's a yes." I opened my mouth, nothing came. "If you're this Ellis, you're already halfway in love." I wondered if she was right. Last night, when he kissed me, I hadn't pulled away. I woke up and didn't see him. My chest felt strangely hollow. "Is this what liking someone feels like?" Stella said, "Half the agencies asked you out, and I've never seen you mope like this." Stella said, "If you really like him, just spell it out early and everything will be peachy." It's never that simple. Mason is only sharing the lease with me out of necessity. Once he finds another place, he'll probably move right out. So I muddled through work like a zombie. I got a message from Sophie. "Olivia, I'm here. Gonna take you out for some fun tonight." "Me? You're in Harbor City?" In the KTV private room, just the two of us knocking back drinks. "Me? Why the sudden visit?" Sophie grinned. "Because your love life keeps me up at night." "Me? I'm still young. I'll meet someone." "Chill." Before Sophie could answer, the door swung open and Mason walked in. "Wait, what?" I stared at Sophie, totally blindsided that she'd invited Mason. I whispered, "Why did you drag him here?" "I finally fly in. Of course I have to see him and talk some sense into him. Help him forget that witch." "You back me up." I could only force an awkward smile. "Better keep a low profile so I don't annoy him." Sophie beamed. "By the way, Olivia, I've got a huge surprise for you." I squinted. "For real? You're gonna love it." She clapped and a line of guys filed in. 8 men minimum, in black shirts and suit pants, standing at attention. I was dumbfounded. "What is this?" Sophie announced. "You're obsessed with cut abs, right?" "Handpicked." She stood, clapped again, and music blasted. The 8 started dancing, hips and shoulders rolling. Within a minute they yanked off their shirts, flashing abs and pecs. "Oh my God!" I slapped my hands over my eyes, mortifying. Watching alone would have been fine, but Sophie just had to bring Mason. I sneaked a glance. His expression was priceless, face storm-dark, brows knitted tight enough to crush flies. After about 60 seconds the music died. Finally, I exhaled in relief. Sophie piped up. "Olivia, pick your favorite." I shook my head and told them to step out. "None of them do it for you?" "Want a fresh batch?" Sophie asked. I jumped in. No, we're good." Before Sophie could speak, Mason was on his phone. "Big, it's little. I'm at Glam KTV in Harbor City. Your daughter just ordered male dancers." Sophie's eyes bulged, she glared a warning. "Mason, you little." The voice on the other end crackled, frantic. The call cut. Sensing disaster, I bolted with an excuse. "Big misunderstanding, bathroom break." When I stepped out of the restroom, someone yanked me into an empty private room. Startled, I struggled. "Let go. It's me." I froze. "Mason? Why drag me in here?" Mason, what? He cut me off. Olivia, you into muscles? Huh. No. He seized my wrist and pressed my palm to his stomach. I gasped. Mason, what are you doing? You want to touch? Touch mine. He pinned me to the wall. The cedar scent of him calmed my panic. And damn, the man was built perfect 8-pack. My fingers, traitors that they are, gave a tiny squeeze. He groaned. Olivia, do you even know what you're doing? Wait, seriously? Dude, you told me to touch. Getting shy now. Mason laughed in disbelief. Not free. I charge interest. Mason, you. My protest died as he sealed my mouth with his. His hand cradled the back of my neck. His tongue tasted of whiskey and raw claim. I tilted up, helpless, fingers twisting his shirt like a mast in a storm. Feeling me respond, he deepened the kiss until we were both breathless. Finally, he let go. Olivia, Big says you've stayed single Taylor. Looking at him, I blurted. But you haven't. Who told you I'm dating? The girl who answered your phone last time. He answered instantly. My cousin, ask Big if you don't believe me. Oh! I dropped my gaze. Seeing the smirk playing on his lips, I muttered. You think I was jealous? Was not. Way too defensive. I spun to leave, he followed. Once he said cousin. My mood lifted like fog burned off by sun. Back in Sophie's private room, I sat nearby while she chatted between sips. Soon her husband collected her, leaving Mason and me alone. He rose. Let's go home. Okay, I answered. At the exit, a server blocked us. Sorry, sir, ma'am. The special performance needs to be settled. Mason glanced at me and paid. Sophie, you demon, killing me. Back at the apartment, I showered and sipped tea in the living room. Minutes later, Mason emerged from the bathroom wearing only a towel. Short hair dripped, beads slid down sharp cheekbones, strong neck, carved abs, then vanished under the terry cloth. The towel hung low, exposing most of that sculpted chest. Infuriatingly hot. Was this deliberate? He caught me staring. Look all you want, no need to sneak. You did that on purpose, parading around half-naked. Just grabbing clothes from my room, he said, heading in. He returned in sleep shorts, hair dry, still no shirt, and sat across from me. Why no shirt? Hot tonight, he replied. I escaped to my room. The sight was too tempting, and I didn't trust my hands. From then on, he lounged around topless. I adjusted, sneaking peeks like seasoning on rice. One day at the office, Stella whispered, Hey, Olivia, director's buying dinner tonight. Huh? Why? Department team building, they say. Random. What's the occasion? Come on, everyone knows director's got his eye on you. This dinner's the setup. I rolled my eyes. Stop it. Don't play dumb. He's decent looking, salary's fat. I shrugged. Pass. Already into someone. Her grin turned wicked. Your ex-boyfriend. My silence said everything, she squealed. Didn't know you were the loyal type. If you like him, why break up? Yeah, I admit it, I like him. But what I did back then was unforgivable. I don't deserve to say the word like to him now. If I tried, Mason would think I was toying with him. Moments later, the team chat pinged. Tonight's department dinner, mandatory attendance, no exceptions. Stella wiggled her brows. Told ya. I groaned. Please don't let there be a public confession. Our agency is pretty liberal, no explicit ban on office romance. I looked up and met Derek's gaze, thick enough to spoon. It gave me goosebumps all over. He's maybe 5 or 6 years older than me, reasonably good-looking, soft and gentle. Exactly the type of son-in-law moms dream of. After work, our whole team hailed a rideshare to the restaurant we'd booked. Inside the private room, Derek purposely took the seat next to me, refilling my drink every few minutes, ladling soup, piling food on my plate, attentive to a fault. I was embarrassed by the pampering, and the coworkers' eyes kept flicking our way. Avery, I've got it. I protested again when he reached for the pitcher. He only smiled. The meal flew by. Suddenly it was 9 p.m. My phone buzzed with a text. Still not home? Where are you? Had to be Mason. How did he even get my number? I shot back. Who's this? Mason. Me, Mason. Mason. At least you're not totally clueless. Me, what's up? Mason. Out this late. Me, on a date. Mason, oh really? With who? I snapped a quick pic of Derek's hand beside me and sent it. Morgan went quiet then. Where? Address. Me, why? Mason. Picking you up. Me. I can get home myself. Mason. Not safe this late. Me, so worried. Still into me? Mason. Promised Big I'd look after you. Stubborn as a dead duck, I muttered. Truth. Team dinner, heading home soon. Mason, address. I gave up and dropped him the location. Derek noticed me texting nonstop. Something wrong? I grinned. Nope. He leaned closer. Can you step outside with me a minute? I blinked. Huh? Why? Need to tell you something. I'll wait outside. He excused himself to the restroom and left. Seconds later, I'm in the parking lot. I decided to hear him out. If this was a confession, I'd clear the air. I found him standing with his back to me, holding a bouquet. Riley, what's up? He turned. Olivia, I've been watching you for ages. You're dedicated, gorgeous, kind, every trait I want. Give me a chance to ask you out. Stella called it, I thought. Just then a car rolled in, window sliding down. Olivia. My heart skipped. How had Mason gotten here so fast? WH, what are you doing here? Taking you home. He climbed out, glanced at Derek. What's going on? Derek asked. And you are? Before I could speak, Jordan cut in. Her boyfriend. Wait, since when? Derek looked at me, stunned. You have a boyfriend? Never heard about him. Mason's arm circled my waist, staking claim. 2 years together. We lived together. Derek waited for my confirmation. If I denied it, he'd think Hope was alive. Might as well shut this down. I nodded. Riley, sorry. I'm taken. He for the compliment, but I can't return it. Derek gave a sad smile. My fault for not asking sooner. It's late, I said. I should head home. Drive safe. Under Derek's gaze, Mason ushered me into the passenger seat, pulled out, and sped off. We rolled to a stop in our complex's garage. I broke the silence. Why did you say that? Hands on the wheel, Mason asked. Regrets? When I stayed quiet, Jordan said, let's go upstairs. Back inside, I perched on the sofa. We broke up 2 years ago. Don't say that again. Mason sat beside me. Break up? News to me. Seriously, amnesia now. I told you 2 years ago. Jordan countered. Did I agree? In relationships, once one person ends it, it's over, consent or not. Mason gave a self-mocking laugh, walked off to his room, and ever since he's been dodging me like I'm toxic. My own mess, my own pain. A week passed. Mason stayed frozen polite. One night I crept out for water, stomach cramping. I flicked on the living room light and headed for the sink, but the pain doubled me over. Water didn't help. I remembered the meds in the side cabinet, fumbled it open, hands shaking, pills scattering across the tile. Tears blurred everything. A figure loomed, Mason frantic. You okay? I choked back a sob. I'm fine. He scooped me up. We're going to the hospital. I pushed weakly. No need. Still cradling me, he snapped. Stop being stubborn. It's nothing new. Doctor said take the pills on time. He didn't slow. We'll let them check first. At St. Anne's the tests were quick. Reading the chart, the doctor frowned. Patient needs regular meals. Wasn't this discussed? Take care of yourself. He turned to Mason. And you, boyfriend, supervise her. Mason nodded. Will do. Back home he cooked congee and set it in front of me. Eat, then meds. Quinn, I whispered. He watched me spoon it up. How long has this been going on? About a year. Work messed up my schedule. He said nothing more. When I finished, he handed me pills and warm water. After I swallowed, the tight line of his shoulders finally eased. I studied him. You were that worried? He met my eyes. Yeah. Scared. I'd braced for the big excuse. His honesty floored me. Still like me. Like you. He leaned closer. I love you. I hooked my arms around his neck and kissed him. Hard. This time I made the move. His eyes flared, stunned, as I parted his lips and dove in, hot and desperate. Mason quickly took over. My whole body melted, head spinning until I had to break for air. Gasping, I said, Mason, I love you too. He stared like he'd misheard. Say it again. I love you. I screwed up 2 years ago. I thought we were just fooling around, but you were serious and I panicked. I was scared I couldn't match you. But I've always loved you, then and now. He kissed me again, deeper, fiercer, as if trying to fuse us together. After a long while he finally let go. Olivia, let's get back together. I nodded. Okay. How long are we staying together this time? Jordan asked. I hugged him. Forever. Mason looked at me, eyes soft. Then I'm all in. And just like that, we were a couple again. With him looking after me, my stomach was happier than it had been in years. A week slipped by. Stella stood beside my desk, studying me. Olivia, you're practically glowing. Good news. I thought about it. 3 generous home-cooked meals a day. Even I'd put on a pound or 2. Stella leaned closer. You've brown-bagged lunch every single day. No takeout in sight. Confess, whose heart-shaped Tupperware is that? I grinned. The guy at home. Stella's eyes lit up. Back together? I nodded. No wonder you're radiant. Love is better than any highlighter, she teased. That afternoon my phone buzzed right after clockout. Mason, baby off work? Me Mason, I'm downstairs. Me, you left the studio early? Mason, taking you to dinner. Me, lead the way. After the meal, he drove us to the waterfront. We'd barely stepped onto the boardwalk when he asked me to grab a jacket from the trunk. I popped it open, flowers, gifts, ribbons everywhere. All this for me? He nodded. Happy Valentine's. I'm making up for every holiday we missed, starting 2 years ago. Consider this 2 years of love in installments. Tears welled. I couldn't pretend otherwise. He dabbed them away. Hey, why the waterworks? I buried my face in his chest. I regret wasting 2 whole years without you. He laughed gently. We still have the rest of our lives. Yes, I whispered. We kissed by the surf until the moon blurred. Breathless and dizzy, I murmured. Mason. I want you. He blinked. Say that again. I've been craving you forever. He broke into the happiest smile. You got me. The second we were through the door, he swept me off my feet, pivoted, and pressed me onto the bed. His fingertips grazed my skin like sparks. Within minutes, we were both panting. Men and women really are built differently. Long after I collapsed, exhausted, he was still tireless. I nestled in his arms, our fingers still laced from the height of it. I love you, Olivia, he whispered. I drifted off against his chest. Morning light spilled through the curtains, Rowan. I woke to find him watching me. Why are you staring? I mumbled, cheeks hot. Because my Olivia is gorgeous, he answered. Before I could retort, the door flew open. Olivia. We froze. Mason yanked the duvet over us. Big. Ever heard of knocking? I shrank beneath the covers, mortified. Once decent, we faced Sophie in the living room. She folded her arms. Explain. Now. I twisted my fingers. Sophie, it's a long story. You're my little sister, yet you're dating my baby brother? Let me. She burst out laughing. Brilliant. Took you long enough. You're not mad. She waved it off. I've been waiting for someone to tame him. Congrats. I only found out he was your brother the day he moved in, I said. She smirked. That kid's been crazy about you for ages. I blinked. Come again. Mason cut in. Big, mission accomplished. You can leave now. Sophie rolled her eyes. Fine, ungrateful siblings. Once the door shut, I rounded on him. Spill. Jordan cleared his throat. I've known you longer than you think. My jaw dropped. You mean when I asked you out at university, you already knew I was Sophie's friend? He nodded. I smacked his chest. You conned me. He pulled me close. I transferred to harbor you and joined the marketing club just to get near you. When you beat me to the confession, I was over the moon, until you dumped me a month later. I was crushed. When Sophie told me you hadn't dated anyone since, I saw my second chance. I begged her to set up the roommate situation. He tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. 6 years ago, I came to your high school dance recital to watch Sophie. The moment you stepped on stage, I was done for. I followed you to harbor you, joined your club, everything. My mind raced. So Sophie knew you liked me, knew I'd dumped you, and still threw us together? That was my script, he admitted. I even knew when she dragged you to that male model cafe. I was jealous for days. When your coworker planned to confess, I was terrified. Watching you clutch your stomach in pain gutted me. Hearing you say you wanted me felt like winning the lottery all over again. He cupped my face. Olivia, I've loved you for 6 whole years. I sniffed. You absolute fool. He kissed me, and we spent the rest of the morning showing each other just how foolish we could be. When I finally begged for mercy, Mason, no more. He smirked. Am I still technically inadequate? I laughed breathlessly. The man never forgets. 6 months later, he proposed. Mason, Olivia, I love you. Me, and I love you. Thanks for listening to our story. If you liked it, hit like and share with friends. We'd love to read your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories. See you next time.